the world of robotics research. So for this project, I worked alongside PhD candidate Zahra Khashei, and I've had a chance to explore the Lab of Robotics, Locomotion, and Control under the guidance of Professor Dr. Siavash Rezazadeh. In this photo is myself on the right, Zahra in the middle, and then Chatara, who was my previous mentor in the research I did here at SRI last year. Our research is all about understanding the impact of external forces or perturbations on human locomotion. It might sound technical, but it's essentially about unraveling the mysteries of how we walk. Okay, so on to my research poster. For this research, we were using advanced tools like the Bertec instrumented treadmill, as you can see pictured on the top right there, and the Vicon Bonita cameras, which are under that treadmill to the left. And those were set all around, surrounding the treadmill, which is essentially in the center of the lab there. We're using these to carefully analyze joint angles, center of pressure, center of mass, joint movements, and joint forces. It's like peeking into a hidden world of data that tells us how our bodies move. But what makes this research truly exciting is the potential to change lives. We're not just here for the science, we're on a mission to innovate rehabilitation. Imagine a future where those with paraplegia could walk again. That's the goal we're working towards. So let's dive into the fascinating realm of human locomotion and explore the possibilities that lie ahead. To the nitty-gritty of how we've been conducting this research, to gather our data, we use a specialized tool known as the Bertec instrumented treadmill, again on the top right. This treadmill is designed specifically for biomechanical studies and has separate pressure plates for the right and left foot, allowing us to measure forces accurately during perturbed walking. We had participants walk on the treadmill at around 1 meter per second, wearing markers on specific anatomical landmarks. You can see the bottom right photo. That was me. We performed several tests during my time in the lab, and they would suit me with these pearl-like markers all around my thighs, my knees, my toes, areas like that. This setup enabled us to capture their movements with precision. The fun part, introducing perturbations, those unexpected pushes in different directions, like front, top, and side. I have a diagram here where it has transverse, frontal, and sagittal planes. Those illustrate where we had the perturbations. There was a hook that would pull this harness that I would be wearing from above, from the side, and from the front. It was jerking and uncomfortable, I can say that. Regardless, we accomplished this using a motor setup controlled by a simulant commanding station, adjusting perturbation magnitudes from 10 to 70 newtons. Once we had our motion data, we rolled up our sleeves and dug into the analysis. We used the Vicon software like Vicon Nexus to reconstruct and visualize tracked marker trajectories. This helped us understand how participants moved. And MATLAB, that's our computational wizardry, helping us process and interpret the collected data. There's a picture of a graph next to the Vicon Bonita camera under the treadmill, and that's kind of the data that we would look at after we would write code in MATLAB that would reduce the noise and then graph this data so we could figure out how the heel strike and toe off events were affecting it. Let's move on to what we found. We looked at how perturbations affected specific events during the walking gait cycle, toe off and heel strike. These events showed unique responses to different forces, like step length variation and changes in joint angles, especially in the lower limbs. Here's where things get really interesting. Perturbations mess with the natural sequence of gait phases, particularly during toe off and heel strike. Those are the moments when your foot leaves and touches the ground. Our detailed analysis, fueled by force plate data, unveiled significant changes in joint angles, joint forces, joint moments, and joint powers. It's like understanding the dance our bodies perform to maintain stability and balance. Now let's step back and reflect about what this all means. Our findings reveal how adaptable our walking gait cycle is when faced with perturbations. This has the potential to revolutionize paraplegia rehabilitation and medical exoskeleton design. We've been delving into perturbations, those external forces that challenge our gait stability, Think of it as understanding the secret language our body uses to stay balanced. Our study dives deep into the joint angle variations, uncovering their crucial role into how the central nervous system responds to disturbances. What's really exciting is that our insights are practical. By decoding how joint angles interact with perturbations, we're laying the groundwork for stability-enhancing strategies, especially for the elderly. It's about making those everyday challenges, like navigating uneven terrain, a little bit easier. And that wraps up our journey through the fascinating world of perturbations, gait cycles, and their potential impact on rehabilitation. I want to take a moment to thank Anthea Johnson, eSTEM, and the Rocky Mountain Alliance for Minority Participation for making this research possible, and my family and friends who may be watching.